They took the entire bed and like started literally running down to the labor and delivery room. So we run down and we get down to labor and delivery. So I'm on the bed, but this is not a labor and delivery bed, so it didn't have the stirrup. So they push my bed up next to the labor and delivery bed, and they said, we need you to get over there. So
and at this time, it's like 10 nurses in there.
Yeah.
It's so much woman power in that thing, boy. They was ready to go.
You were the only man in there.
I was the only man in there, yeah. And I kept asking if I could help. They was like, get out the way.
You're like, what you gonna do?
I was gonna pick you up and put you in the bed.
Oh yeah, so and they were like, you need to get over there. And so they like helped me and like lift me up and put me over in the other bed. And yeah, I mean, I like that little scoop too. I wasn't just like
I'm trying to take something from
but they pushed me over and I got over there. And so then they were like, on the next contraction, we need you to push. And I was like, this was like the first moment I feel like that I was like, what? Like, what's going on?
Oh yeah, as soon as we got to the room, legs was up.
Yeah, like as soon as we got in there.
He's coming.
But I'm thinking like, no, it's going to be like 24 hours. Like, no, it's going to be 3 more weeks. Like, what's going on? And it was none of that. Like, we got to the hospital like 5 o'clock. We had this boy at 11:49 p.m.
Yeah, it all happens.
Like 5 p.m., 11:49 p.m. Like,
yeah.
Less than 6 hours, here's the baby. And so then I have the next contraction. They were like, is that it? I was like, yeah. And they said, push. Girl, I didn't know how to push.
Yeah, she couldn't figure it out. They said you're pushing different parts of your body.
I was pushing like my stomach because I felt like, well, that makes sense. So I'm like doing like an ab like contraction thing, like
yeah.
And they were like, that's not doing anything. Like, we need you to push like you're pooping. The choreography of the pushing was like not happening. They had took my legs and kept like cranking them back like this, and that like finally helped.
It was like a woman on both sides.
Yeah.
And they pull them forward and then they rush them back, and then pull them forward and then rush them back.
So that helped. But I will say the pushing made it feel a lot better. Like, when I was pushing, I didn't feel like the pain of the contractions, and I had straight back labor. Like, I had back labor, nothing in the front at all, and back labor, it was bad. It just hurt. So yeah, I was pushing.
Front labor hurt too.
Oh yeah, but they say that back labor is worse. I haven't had
front labor. Try to talk herself up.
It's worse.
You know, I was in the worst of it. You know, I came through strong.
You know, I didn't have epidural, right? You know, it was back labor.
No, you silly as hell.
But yeah, so I'm pushing and it's like nothing's happening.
And the whole time I'm bouncing back and forth like a ping pong ball. Like, I'm in between the legs. Let me see, Doc. Move out the way. What's going on in here? And then I run around. I go up to the top to see her. I'm like, babe, you doing good? Doing good, babe. Yeah. I was running around the room. I was working music. I was working music.
Because I have like a playlist. Yeah, this is like such the opposite like experience that I had planned for my labor and delivery. I wanted like the lights to be low. I wanted like minimal people in the room, like this nice playlist of like easy music going on, like nice and calm. Like, I wanted to hold the baby right after, like put him right on me, don't even wipe him off. Like, I wanted to put him right on the breast, like hold him for an hour, like all of this stuff. Like, when I tell you not a single thing happened.
Yeah.
Not a one.
It was sad. And then like she kept pushing, they couldn't push the baby out, so then they were losing the heartbeat, so they attached these probes to his head with these wires that came out so they could track the heartbeat inside the uterus, inside the birth canal, through the skull. And it's like the woman, either Taylor wasn't pushing long enough or the head was rotating or something, but they kept having to cut the strings and put a new one on, so they ended up putting like 4 different ones on the baby's head. And then I was losing my mind. I was just like, yo, he a preemie, his head isn't properly developed, let's do as little as possible to the boy's head.
Then that's when they brought out the vacuum.
And then they put the vacuum on his head. And yeah, man, I was on a whole different level of just anxiety. A mental abnormality, it's just like, that's different. And that's tough, not only for the individual, but it's tough for the parents, it's tough for the family of the parents. And Like, that was my biggest concern. I do not want to have a child left with a mental disability because of someone else's carelessness. You know, it's one thing for them to just be naturally born that way, and a completely different from someone to cause it because they weren't being cautious enough. So, and again, I'm not familiar with the field. It was my very, very, very first time being in a delivery room. So it may be normal, but for me, that was the number one thing I was concerned with, because when Taylor couldn't push the baby out naturally, like she said, they put this suction cup on the baby's head. They twisted a few times to suck the skull up into it, and then they pull this handle and they try to pull the baby out while she pushes, and I could just see the baby's head forming into it, and it's coming out, and I'm just like, yo, she's going to make my child mentally handicapped. Like, he is not developed. And she said before she did the vacuum, she said to Taylor, you gotta push him out. I don't want to use this vacuum on him, but we have to get him out. But now, just to say one additional thing, Taylor was pushing good, but he was coming lower than the opening. So if the opening is here, Taylor was pushing him out here. So I could see the head bulging right below the opening. So the doctor kept trying to stretch the opening down lower than the baby's head. So the whole time I was thinking, do the episiotomy. I was thinking it from the very beginning, do the episiotomy. I was thinking that from the very, because you could see clearly that Taylor is pushing well. It's just that the hole is high. Opening is high.
Yeah. That's another part of my birth plan that I, ideally had written out, and I didn't want an episiotomy. I wanted the natural tearing and everything, and so I ended up getting one of those as well. But then as soon as they did the episiotomy, well, first of all, he will say a whole
Yo, I was a G the whole time. My G status was my G. Look, that's the problem.
No, you can be a G.
Can't nobody else have nothing. Can't nobody else do nothing good. She got to get all credit for all things. So again, I was a G.
No, you were really
the
good.
whole time. But when they cut her, yo, so. I was between her legs behind the doc. So the doc head right here, I'm looking around the doc head what's up? What we doing? When they got the scissors out to cut, I turned my head. I was like, ugh, I can't watch. They cut. I hear the cut. It was like, it sounded real thick. And then I look back, bruh, it was a whole river of red oatmeal and juice just coming. It was so much. They had a garbage bag catching all of it. It was a bucket. Bruh, I was just like, oh. Yo, it was horrifying. Yo. But I stood in there strong, though. I was like, And then the baby popped out. As soon as they cut, he was like, whoop. He just did a snake out that thing. And it was just like, all right, cool, there you go. And then I was super happy.
Yeah, you had a crazy smile.
Yeah.
I heard them say Dad, do you want to cut the cord? And I was like, no cutting, because that's the other part of my birth plan. I wanted to do delayed cord clamping. So I was like, no. And she was like, sweetie, there's no time. We have to get this done. I was like literally everything.
Yeah.
Not a single thing that I've researched and been planning on has been able to happen. So he cuts the cord, and then they whisk the baby away to the coroner, and then you went over there too, and I was just by myself.
Hey, you did an amazing job, sweetie.
Hey.
You did an amazing job, babe.
The flexed arms, pink body, blue extremities, and slowly regular respirations.
So one upper respirators, one upper.
And then minimal response stimulation, not prompt.
but the same hormone that makes your
What's going on with this hat?
I know. Well,
For
because I
5
have it over
minutes
the
for
plastic.
the 5 minutes.
So
So
7 and 8.
They took the baby to the corner under a heating lamp and put him in, like, wrapped him in this plastic, and they were clearing out his nose and his airway. They put a cannula on him. And then for a brief moment, they took him over to Taylor for her to hug him, which was sad.
All of this was going on. I couldn't see anything. All the nurses, the NICU nurses, were lined up like this around the table, like all doing stuff with him. So I just saw a whole bunch of people's backs. And I'm like listening, like there's no crying going on. Like there's just all this talking. And then like I look down, I see the doctor going like this on me, like stitching me up. I didn't even know that was going on. Then I look over like.
And Taylor was shaking like crazy. Her
Yeah.
legs, her knee. Oh my God. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Yes.
She gotta go back to the hospital. Yo, but her knees was just like this. Like the whole knee was just going back and forth like this. She was just shaking so bad while she was getting stitched up. It was crazy.
They're doing all of that, and like time was taking so long. When I look back in the pictures and I see like the timestamp from when he came out and then like from when she brought him over to see me, it was 14 minutes.
Yeah.
It was
a
14
while.
minutes.
It took a while.
And then he was like all wrapped up in everything. Like we didn't get to do skin to skin or anything like that. And then she like kind of tipped him over to show me, and she was like, "Here's the baby." And I just looked at him and I was like, "Oh no!" Like I didn't
Yeah.
like smile.
There
I like
no-
I wasn't happy.
You had a blank expression.
I wasn't happy at all. I was like sad. I was like mad and upset. Like I was like, "What are you doing out? Like this is not right. Like this
Yeah.
is not supposed to be." And so I just stared at him.
Yeah, you
And-
looked bewildered.
Yeah.
You honestly did.
1990.
Ain't he cute? He look just like my grandma.
I
like,
agree.
what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. And so I wasn't happy, and like I hate that like that's what happened. But I wasn't happy, not one bit. And they showed him to me, and she was like, "Give him a kiss," and I did. But I was like, "What is this?" And so then they like, left out again, and you went.
I went with
So
the baby.
he went with the baby, and they left, and then here I am like. Pretty much everybody was gone at that point. There was like maybe 2 of the nurses were still there, and I was just in there by myself.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was the worst, and I didn't like hear anything. I don't know where my phone was or anything like that anyway, but I like went to the next room and everything without knowing what was going on. I was in there for like 2 hours. It was like 3 hours before
I came and checked on you way before that.
not until I got into
It
the
was
other room.
less than 3 hours when I saw you.
No, it wasn't.
Love to exaggerate. Yes,
I
it
went
was.
to the other room.
They took him to his final destination, and once I saw that they had him in the incubator and settled in, I took that brief video, and then I came straight to the room
Oh,
and filled
okay.
you in.
And then you went back.
Yeah, I went back.
Okay. So yeah, he did do that. But I was already in the other room though.
You were in the room. You were in a different room.
And you stayed in that other room for 2 hours. So it was a couple hours. And then he brought me the video, and then he went right back. And then by the time I actually went and saw the baby, it was like 3 a.m. And I had him at 11:49. So it was a long time before I was.
It was an experience that if we had to do all over again, I would want to be completely opposite. But the outcome was a beautiful, healthy baby boy. And the woman that is sitting next to me did an amazing job. She demonstrated that she had all the qualities of a great mother. She was strong. She persevered. She was collected under pressure. And I'm proud of her. I'm very proud of her. She did an amazing job.
Yeah, when I finally was able to go and see him, I was still like in shock. He was in the isolate and I was in the wheelchair, and I just looked and like I put my hands in there and I like touched his skin and everything, but I don't even think I might have cried a little bit, but I was still just like, I can't believe this happened.
Yeah, it was sad. It was sad, but yo, it was heavenly. And I say heavenly in that it was a million things that could have went wrong. Like later we found out that the reason her water broke early was because the placenta detached from the wall, which could have resulted in her actually bleeding out and dying. Had she not gone, that's right, yeah. Had she not gone to the hospital when she did. So the fact that, this is what I was saying at the beginning of the video. Mm-hmm. Now I get to say it. The fact that I was at home makes all the difference in the world. I ripped my chest the night before, so I called into work that morning. I didn't even call into work that night. I called into work that morning and said, you know what, I'm not going to be able to come. I'm at the house. Her water doesn't break until the end of the day. She doesn't pee on herself until the end of the day when she was already coming home. Because who knows, like Taylor, she was known for being well prepared for stuff. She could have had like an extra pair of clothes or something that, you know, she changed into, or, you know, anything. She could have taken her time getting home, because like her job is a serious job that has like serious deadlines that are state mandated, and she may have said, you know what, I need to just handle this one thing before I get out of here. Had we not gotten Taylor to the doctor when she got there, yeah, we could have lost the baby and her.
Yeah.
And a man as fine as me shouldn't be without a woman as fine as her. You feel me? I don't know.
What are you gonna do with the baby?
Nothing, dog.
I do. Just like he said about speaking up for yourself. In my like trying to be calm and in my denial, I second guessed like the pain that I was in, and I thought, oh, surely it must get worse than this. Like, so I'm not going to exaggerate. I'm not going to be extra, because I'm an extra person.
Very extra.
On a regular basis.
Very regular.
Like, I stubbed my toe that one time.
Very stubbed her toe that one time.
I about died. I was
Very
like,
about that.
oh no, like everything is over. Like, I was wailing. I was wailing. And I was like, it's your dad's fault.
Yeah.
But like, I'm extra.
Yeah.
But at this time, something really was going on. Like, I was really in like labor pain, and I'm like, nah, like I'm cool. Like, let me not be extra. Don't underestimate like your pain, and if you feel like whatever you feel like is going on in your body, express that to people.
And make sure they listen and do something about it.
Yeah. Make sure you say it. I didn't even say anything. He said it and felt like he should have said more. Just make sure, like, it's about your health. I now reflect, and like, there was definitely a time where I felt like I was ready to push, like in that high risk unit, but thinking like it's not time to push, so I'm not gonna say anything. But like, it was time to push.
You probably could have gotten you could have probably gotten an epidural, or if you decided not to get the epidural, you could have had more time to push without getting an episiotomy.
And by the time we had the baby, it was like urgent, like run to the room, have him right now. They were like so much urgency in the like, push this baby out right now, Taylor.
The doctor was yelling.
Yeah, she was like, push him out now, and I was like, because it was like too real at that point. Like, he had to come out when we could have had more time had I not underestimated what I was going through. Y'all, Atlas is beautiful. Like, he's so perfect and wonderful. He gave us a scare. Like, he was on the breathing tube and on the feeding tube. I'm actually gonna do like a NICU story and let you know like all about how that went. But at the end of the day, like, now he's fine. He's perfect. He's growing. Like, he's healthy and he's amazing. That's our baby.
That boy head so big. Ooh, we get it from her. Fine. All right, y'all. I'ma holler at y'all later. I can't continue to say. It's been like we've been here for like an hour. I got stuff to do. It's
We
my
both
day
got
off.
stuff to do. Anyway,
She don't go to work no more. I still go to work. I still want to do something on my weekends.
leave a comment below and let me know who you think doing more, him or me. Even though I'm not going to work, I'm doing the cooking, the cleaning, the babying, the pumping, and everything else around here. Washing his clothes, dirty drawers and all, y'all, folding them up and everything. Like,
I don't even wear
leave a
drawers.
comment below. Let me know. You won't wear them on the weekends, but you wear them to work though. Leave a comment below and let me know which one of us you think is doing more work, and also which one of us you think should be making more money. I think it's me, because I'm doing like a whole bunch of jobs. I'm like the nurse around here, I'm the babysitter, I'm the chef, like I'm the maid, like I'm doing all of it.
It's all
But
stuff for yourself. You cleaning for yourself, cooking
it's
for
for
yourself,
house
doing stuff
all
for
right,
your
this
baby.
not what this
Like,
video
what?
is about. This not what this video
Well,
is
pay
about.
yourself.
So we're gonna do a whole different like stay at home mom video and like why we decided to do that.
I didn't decide
but,
to do that.
but labor and delivery, we're truly blessed, and I just love our son so much.
Yeah, I feel blessed. All right, I'm gone.
I thought you were about to say wade in the water.
No.
Baby Atlas. He seems scrunch off his face.
Hey homies, thanks for watching this video. If you've made it to this point, then you already know what to do. Make sure you click the like button and subscribe for more videos from me. Then follow me on Instagram for daily stories so that you can see more of what we are up to. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.